How would our world look today if Alexander the Great never ruled? Would our cultures, languages, and societies be dramatically different? These inquiries aren't just idle speculation. They underscore the profound influence of one man on the course of world history. Picture a young Macedonian prince barely out of his teens, ascending to the throne and going on to forge an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt, and as far east as India. This is the story of Alexander the Great, a man whose impact reverberates even today. His story is not just about conquests and battles, but also about the diffusion of ideas, cultures, and languages that shaped our world. It's a tale of extraordinary ambition, strategic genius, and a relentless drive to unite disparate kingdoms under one banner. So come along as we dive into the life of Alexander the Great, a man who changed the world in just 32 years. In 356 BC, in the ancient city of Pella, Macedonia, a boy was born who would reshape the world. His name was Alexander, the son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias. His birth was not just a royal event but one shrouded in prophecies and omens. It was said that on the night of his birth, lightning illuminated the heavens, foretelling a life of power, conquest, and undeniable influence. From an early age, Alexander showed signs of an innate ambition, a thirst for glory and greatness. He was not one to shy away from challenges, rather he embraced them. His parents recognized this and knew their son was extraordinary. This was not just a child but a future leader, a king in the making. His father, King Philip, was a formidable ruler, but his mother, Queen Olympias, was a force of nature herself. They both played crucial roles in shaping Alexander's character. This boy, Alexander, was destined for greatness from the start. A king-to-be, Alexander was not just trained for warfare but also for wisdom. At the tender age of 13, Alexander was placed under the tutelage of none other than the revered philosopher Aristotle. King Philip II, Alexander's father, recognizing the importance of a well-rounded education for his son, ensured that Aristotle was provided with a school in the palace grounds. Here, Alexander was not only taught military strategies and the art of leadership, but also exposed to the rich tapestry of Greek culture and philosophy. Aristotle, a student of Plato and a profound philosopher of his time, instilled in Alexander an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Alexander was introduced to the works of Homer, and it's said that he held a copy of the Iliad, given to him by Aristotle, as one of his most prized possessions throughout his life. This exposure to Greek literature and philosophy played a significant role in shaping the young prince's outlook, and arguably, his future strategies and conquests. Beyond literature, Aristotle also educated Alexander in politics, sparking a deep understanding of governance and statecraft in the young prince. He was taught about the importance of balance between military might and diplomatic finesse, a philosophy he would later incorporate into his own rule. Alexander's education wasn't confined to the classroom. He learned about the arts, music, and even medicine. This comprehensive education not only shaped him into a well-rounded individual but also allowed him to appreciate cultures beyond his own. In essence, Aristotle equipped Alexander with more than just the tools of a warrior. He provided him with the wisdom of a philosopher and the acumen of a statesman. This unique blend of knowledge and understanding, coupled with his inherent drive and ambition, set Alexander apart from his contemporaries. With his education under Aristotle, Alexander wasn't just learning about the world, he was preparing to conquer it. His exposure to Greek culture and philosophy didn't just shape his outlook, it influenced his strategies, his decisions, and his vision for a united empire. With a mind sharpened by Aristotle and a spirit eager for glory, Alexander was ready to ascend the throne. At the tender age of 20, Alexander ascended the throne after the assassination of his father, King Philip II. It was a time of turmoil and intrigue, a young man thrust into a position of power and influence, surrounded by those who might be allies or enemies. Alexander, however, was not one to be easily cowed. His reign began with a display of authority and decisiveness that belied his age. He swiftly quashed revolts and purged those he deemed disloyal, consolidating his power and securing his position as the undisputed ruler of Macedonia. But Alexander's ambitions extended far beyond the borders of his homeland. He yearned for glory, for conquest, for an empire that would echo through the ages. His initial military campaigns were a testament to his brilliance as a strategist. He led his troops into battle, not from the safety of the rear, but from the front lines, inspiring his men with his courage and tenacity. He met challenges head-on, from the rugged terrain of the Balkans to the formidable city-states of Greece, overcoming each with a combination of tactical ingenuity and sheer force of will. Yet it wasn't just his military prowess that set Alexander apart. He showed an uncanny ability to win the hearts and minds of those he conquered, incorporating their customs and cultures into his growing empire. He was a leader who understood the power of unity, of a shared identity, and he used it to his advantage. Despite the pressures and responsibilities that came with his title, Alexander never wavered in his resolve. His determination, his vision, his unyielding belief in his divine destiny all drove him forward, pushing him to achieve feats that many deemed impossible. Young, yet determined, Alexander started to carve out an empire that would leave a lasting mark on history. His reign was just beginning, but already, the seeds of his greatness were evident. He was not just a king but a force of nature, an unstoppable tide that would sweep across the known world, reshaping it in his image. From Egypt to India, Alexander's ambition knew no bounds. In the pursuit of his grand vision, Alexander led his troops across borders and into battles, carving out an empire that would etch his name in the annals of history. His first significant campaign was against the mighty Persian Empire, a daunting adversary that had long been a thorn in the side of his homeland, Greece. The Battle of Granicus, fought in the spring of 334 BC, marked the beginning of Alexander's Persian campaign. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Alexander's tactical brilliance shone through. With a daring charge across the river at the heart of the battlefield, he caught the Persian forces off guard, securing a decisive victory that would be the first of many. Following the success at Granicus, Alexander marched his forces into the heart of the Persian Empire. City after city fell to his superior tactics and the indomitable spirit of his troops. From the burning of Persepolis to the Battle of Gaugamela, Alexander's conquest of Persia was a testament to his military genius and relentless ambition. Yet the world was not enough for the young conqueror. His gaze turned eastward to the exotic lands of India. Despite the exhaustion of his troops and the increasing resistance from his generals, Alexander pressed on. The Battle of the Hydaspes River demonstrated his unyielding spirit and tactical prowess, even in the face of formidable war elephants. The conquest of India, however, would mark the end of Alexander's relentless expansion. His weary troops longed for home, and the conqueror himself was showing signs of fatigue. Yet in just over a decade he had achieved what others could only dream of. Alexander's empire stretched from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India, a feat unmatched in history. His legacy as a conqueror is a testament to his boundless ambition, his tactical brilliance, and the sheer force of his will. His name, Alexander the Great, echoes down the corridors of time, a symbol of power, ambition, and conquest. Alexander the Great, a king, a warrior, a scholar, and above all, a game-changer in history. When we consider the legacy of Alexander the Great, we're delving into a narrative that has shaped the course of human civilization in ways that continue to echo through the annals of time. Alexander's reign ushered in the Hellenistic period, a time that saw the Greek culture flourish and spread far beyond the borders of Greece itself. This was largely thanks to Alexander's practice of founding cities in the lands he conquered, which served as epicenters of Greek culture. These cities, Alexandria in Egypt being the most famous, became melting pots where Greek customs, philosophies, and language merged with local traditions, giving birth to a unique, vibrant cultural blend. But Alexander's influence didn't stop at culture and language. He also left his mark on the political landscape, his strategies and tactics still studied in military academies around the world. His administrative acumen, as demonstrated in his policy of incorporating locals into his administration, set a precedent for future empires. Moreover, his vision of a cosmopolitan empire where people of different cultures, races, and religions lived side by side under a common rule was revolutionary. This concept, radical for its time, laid the foundations for the multicultural societies we see today. However, Alexander's legacy is not without controversy. His campaigns led to the deaths of countless people and the destruction of numerous cities. His ambition and thirst for power were as much a part of his character as his brilliance and vision. Yet it's impossible to deny that Alexander's rule shaped the world in significant ways. He pushed the boundaries of the known world, both literally and metaphorically, and left an indelible imprint on the canvas of history. Alexander the Great, a man whose influence transcended his lifetime and continues to shape our world today. His legacy is a testament to the extraordinary power of one individual to change the course of history.